Dear students, I hope you are doing fine and I am also fine. And welcome to our today's class. Today I am EBNUL HOSSAIN, assistant teacher in English at PLSC School and College, BOGURA, with you. And today our class is designed for the students of class 9, and our today's class is on second paper, and our today's topic is connectors. And you know that the item, the connectors, is set in your question paper, and this item contains 5 marks. So you have to put emphasis on these items, that means connectors. So now we are going to discuss about connectors. And before going to the board, I would like to give you a glance, that is, what is connector. Connectors or linking words is used as a conjunction to join words, phrases and clauses together. So we already knew that the connectors is a conjunction, and this word is used to join sometimes two words and sometimes more than two words, and it may also join the two phrases and two clauses. Now we are going to the board, and at the very beginning I would like to define what is connectors. Connectors we may term these as linking words. Or linking words. So, what is connector or linking words? Connectors are words used as a conjunction to join two words phrases and clauses together. So we could learn that the connectors are the words used as a conjunction to join words. That means the connectors can join words, and it can also join phrases and even the clauses together. So this is the chief characteristics of connectors, or the salient features of connectors. Now today we are going to learn some connectors, that means the uses of some connectors, the words which are frequently used as connectors. So let's study some words used as connectors. we are going to learn the uses of different connectors. Connectors and as well as. So we can see the two connectors and as well as. So these are the connectors, and these words and phrases used as connectors or linking words to join the words or phrases or clauses. So why to use these connectors and as well as? To join the words, phrases and clauses. That means we use the word and, that means the connector, and as well as to join the words, phrases and clauses. Let's a couple of examples. I bought a book and a pencil. So we can see the example, and here the two words, a book and a pencil. These words are joined together by the connectors and. Another example, he is very friendly as well as cooperative. So this is another example, and we can say that the two words friendly and cooperative are joined together by the connector as well as. So we can learn that these connectors are used to join words, phrases and clauses. Now let's have another examples on another connectors, some more connectors. As, since, because. As, since, because. These are the connectors, and these connectors are used to express the meaning of region. That means these connectors are express reason. To express reason. The words or the sentences which sometimes it may be required that the express some meaning of reasons. So in that cases we can use this connector as since, because. Let's have a couple of examples. As I was ill, I could not go to school. So we can say the example, as I was ill. This clauses expresses the meaning of reason. That means this clauses denotes reason or express reason. As I was ill, that means being ill, I could not go to school. Let's have another example. We went there because we wanted to see the actual events. So we can see the sentence, we went there because we wanted to see the actual events. So we can see that there are two clauses, and these two clauses are joined together by the connectors because, and we already said that the connectors are used to join words, phrases and clauses together. So in these sentences, the two clauses are joined together by the connector because. Let's have some more connectors. But this connector is used to express opposite sense, but this connector is frequently used to express opposite sense. So let's have a couple of examples about the connectors. But he was meritorious, but he could not do well in the exam. So we can see the sentence, as this sentence also has two clauses. He was meritorious and he could not do well in the exam, and these two clauses are joined together by the connector but, and we can also see that here the conjunction buts denotes or express the opposite sex. Opposite means he was meritorious. That means in spite of his being meritorious, he could not do well in the exam. So here the connectors but expresses the opposite sex. She is rich but dishonest. Here we can see that here the connectors but and the two words rich and dishonest. Here we can see in these sentences that the two words are joined together by the connector but. But in the previous sentence, the two clauses are joined together by the connector but, and in the second sentences, the two words are joined by the connectors but. In order that so that these are the connectors which expresses the sense of purpose to express the sense of purpose. That means these connectors are joined. These connectors join the words or phrases and clauses to express purpose. Let's have a couple of examples. He went to London so that he could meet the politicians. Here we can see the sentence, we went to London so that he could meet the politicians. Here in these sentences, the two clauses are joined together by the conjunction so that, and this clauses expresses the meaning or sense of purpose. So these are the major uses of connectors, and this is the part 1 of our today's of the class connectors. And because the item or the topic connectors will take some more classes to cover its syllabus, because only a single class will not be sufficient to cover the whole range of the connectors. So this is the part 1 of connectors, and in the next class, that means the in part 2, we will discuss some more concepts and some uses of them. So I think this class will be very helpful for you, and if you learn these rules and uses, and if you practice this again and again, and it is expected that you can do well in your exam. So thank you everybody, see you again in the next class. Thank you. Dear students, hope you are well by the mercy of the Almighty. I am also fine. Before getting into the details, I would like to introduce myself with you. Today, I am EBNUL HOSSAIN, Assistant Teacher in English at Police Lines School and College, BOGURA. Our today's class is designed for the students of class 10, and this class will be on English first paper, and our today's topic is dialogue writing. And you know that dialogue writing contains 10 marks in your question paper, so it's a very important writing section. So you have to know how to write an ideal dialogue, and in today's class you will have the opportunity to learn some rules of writing an ideal dialogue. And before before going to the board, I would like to discuss what is dialogue. That means what is meant by dialogue, or what do we mean by dialogue. A dialogue is a kind of conversation between two people or more people. But one thing should be noted, that I have said that dialogue is a kind of conversation, but not only mere conversation, because there is a minute difference between a conversation and a dialogue. A conversation basically is held on any topic, or that means a conversation is not confined to a certain topic, but a dialogue is held usually on a specific topic. These are the major difference between the conversation and dialogue. Okay, let's get started on the board. Now at first I would like to define what is dialogue. Dialogue writing. Dialogue writing. At the very beginning, we are going to learn what is dialogue. Dialogue dialogue is a kind of conversation between two people or more people. So we can see the definition of dialogue. We can say that a dialogue is a kind of conversation, and this conversation will be held, or this conversation is held between two people or more people,
it may be at least two people, or it may be held between more than two people. So this is the definition of dialogue. And before writing a dialogue, or some points should be noted, or some points should be taken into consideration to write an ideal dialogue. Now I am going to point out the rules, or point out some hints which must be remembered before writing a dialogue. Points or points or hints to be remembered while writing dialogue. So now I am going to write down some points which is very necessary to build up or to develop an ideal dialogue. The first points should be noted. Language of a dialogue. Language of a dialogue should be clear, easy, vivid, and lucid. This is the first points to be remembered, that the language or the words used in a dialogue or the sentences used in a dialogue should be clear and easy. So sometimes some students may use some unnecessary difficult words in the dialogue, but it should be avoided. There is no necessity of using unwanted difficult words in the dialogue, because our dialogue should be comprehensive or should be understandable. Now the second point, at the beginning, a dialogue contains greetings, or addresses. This is the second point that we can say. The second point is at the beginning, a dialogue contains greetings and addressing. That means when a dialogue is held between the two friends, or when the dialogue is held between a teacher and a student, or is held between the strangers. So some greetings must be used at the very beginning of writing a dialogue. It may be hi, hello, or good morning, and like this. So greetings should be used at the very beginning of a dialogue. Now I am going to write down the third point. Now notice the third points. The language or sentences language or sentences used in a dialogue must maintain logical sequence and consistency between them. So we can see the third point, that the language or the sentences used in a dialogue must contain logical sequence and consistency. The language used in the dialogue must be logical. Illogical or irrelevant sentences should be avoided, and your uses in irrelevant sentences in the dialogue will spoil the idealness of a dialogue. So the sentences used in a dialogue must maintain logical sequence and consistency between them. And now the fourth point. In a dialogue, it is usually in a dialogue contracted from form of sentences of sentences or contracted form of words is used. And where we write a dialogue, we can say that sometimes the contracted form of words, that means when we write I do not, we may write this form in a contracted way. That means I don't, I will not. Instead of will not, then we can write down in contracted form I won't. And such like that, we may use different type of contracted form of verbs, and sometimes we may contract some whole sentences. So in a dialogue, sometimes contracted form of words and sentences may be used in a dialogue. So this is the fourth point. Now I am going to the another point. The fifth point is sometimes the types of language or the motive of the speech depends on the participants in the dialogue. So we can say that sometimes the type of language or the motive of the speech, that means the what type of speech or what type of language should be used must depend on the participants in the dialogue. That means now I would like to clear it. That if the dialogue is held between the teachers and the students, then the type of language should be different. And if the language is held, if the dialogue is held between the stranger, then the language should be the different. So this is the basic difference. Now the sixth and the last points should be noted, that the dialogue should contain a column, a punctuation column to detach the speakers participated in the dialogue. And so this is the major points should be noted to write an ideal dialogue. The another point we may add, that is a dialogue should be ended with the thanking greetings, like that, thank you very much, goodbye, and such like that. You may use the thanking greetings at the end of a dialogue. So this is the basics and elementary ideas or elementary points that you can memorize while writing an ideal dialogue. So I think this class will be very helpful and you will get benefited from today's class, and by practicing these rules you will be able to write an ideal dialogue in your answer papers. Thank you all, and stay home, stay safe, stay blessed. See you again in the next class.